On April 20th, the U.S. Congress approved $61 billion military aid package to Ukraine. The measure was stalling at the U.S. Congress for about 6 months. On April 23rd, a vote will be placed in the U.S. Senate, will take place in the U.S. Senate, and there's a very high probability that the measure will be approved by the senators. At this point, it looks like this huge military aid to Ukraine is a done deal. Today, let's talk of what will happen next with Ukraine and Russia. Howdy, everyone. Welcome to Inside Russia. My name is Konstantin, and this is where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. No propaganda, BS or lies here, only truth, common sense, and logic. And daily news coming out of Russia. And some emotions too, because I am a human being after all. I'll start with saying that this decision to send the aid to Ukraine has long been overdue. It's hard to understand why the politicians were playing the game when at the end they said yes anyway. But hey, it's American politics, and I'm not an expert on American politics, and this channel isn't about what's going on inside America. It's called Inside Russia for a very good reason. So we do not speak of American politics here. Let's talk of how, number one, why this aid package is so important and what it will include. Number two, how fast it will be deployed, delivered to Ukraine. Number three, how are Russian propaganda and politicians reacting to it. Number four, how this military aid will impact the war. And number five, what happens after the package is used and what long-term effect it'll take on Russian-Ukrainian war. And I think it goes even beyond that. It'll take effect on Russia in general. So, friends, what is this all about? Why it is so important, why we're discussing it, why we're talking about it, why it has been making headlines all over the world for the past 6 months or so. Very simple. That is Ukraine's military edge. Ukrainian army has fewer men and it uses men wisely. People is the only advantage that Russia has in this war, as Russians simply have more people in Russia. Russia will come up with as much cannon fodder as it decides required. So Ukrainians must at least have advanced weapons and better military tactics to fight Russian invasion and to stop that human mass that is coming from the east to to Ukraine. And boy, do Ukrainian fighters have bravery and devotion. They showed that in the very first days of the invasion, when very few people were doubting that Russians would successfully take Kiev. And bravery of the Ukrainian troops that they showed is quite unbelievable. But the bravery alone isn't enough. You need armor, weapons, and ammo. And that was what the Ukrainians started running out of in the summer of 2023, last year. They were hoping that the USA would help them fast. Everyone was hoping, the whole world was watching. But no such luck. It took the USA around 6 months. Well, at least now it looks like it's a done deal. Now Ukrainians are back with a bang. Very loud, big bang, literally. The military aid will leverage Russian advantage in men. The package includes 61 billions of American dollars worth of military aid. Well, first of all, the total funding is not $61 billion. The total package that the Congress voted for is 95 billion. It includes roughly 61 billion for Ukraine, with some of the funding going towards replenishing American munitions. $26 billion go to for Israel, the aid of Israel. $8 billion for the U.S. allies in the Indo-Pacific region, including Taiwan, and $9 billion in humanitarian assistance for civilians in war zones, such as Haiti, Sudan, and Gaza. So it's 61 for Ukraine. Out of 61 billion, 23 billion will be used by the USA to replenish its own military stockpiles and reserves, because it'll send them to Ukraine almost immediately, all at once, very soon. Another $14 billion would go to Ukraine Security Alliance Initiative, in which the Pentagon buys advanced new weapon systems for the Ukraine military directly from U.S. defense contractors. Well, basically, the biggest part will come from the warehouses of the U.S. Army, and a significant part will be ordered at the U.S. defense contractors and will be delivered over time later. So also, there's around $11 billion to fund current U.S. military operations in the region that will enhance, was really difficult to say this word, improve military, improve Ukrainian military capabilities, and continue growing intelligence collaboration between Kyiv and Washington. $8 billion will be spent for non-military assistance, such as helping Ukrainian government continue basic operations, including the payment of salaries, pensions, and so forth. So that is absolutely non-military aid. 61 minus 8 is 53. That's what the USA is sending for the military aid, and 8 for non-military aid. So how fast the aid will be delivered to Ukraine, considering Ukraine's been waiting for 6 months? It's pretty darn fast. Now, on the 20th, this past Saturday, the Congress approved the bill, the law, whatever, the document. The measure will most likely be approved by the U.S. Senate on the 23rd, just 2 days from now. And this is very high probability that it'll be approved. And either the very same day or the next day, the president will sign it and it'll become official. As soon as president's signature is there on the document, the Pentagon claims that it has everything ready, waiting for the delivery. Hey, it's the politicians who have been delaying, not the Pentagon. Well, for example, from what I understand, the very first military stuff will be delivered is 155 millimeter rounds and other artillery. That's what Ukraine is lacking very much now. Some air defense munitions and things like that, all that stuff could arrive to Ukraine as fast as May 2nd. Something tells me that Ukraine has waited long enough, and now things will start moving very fast. The world is rejoicing at the U.S. Congress decision. But what do Russians have to say about it? Russian politicians, Russian propaganda, and they are not happy. I think that everyone who has a little bit of brain understands that American military aid to Ukraine spells either big trouble or disaster for Russian armed forces. So Dmitry Peskov, Putin's press secretary, the translator from Russian to Russian, we don't really know what his function is, was supposed to be press secretary, but we really want to hear the president, but no such luck, it's Dmitry Peskov. He reacted first. I quote, The decision to provide assistance to Ukraine is expected and it was predictable. This will further enrich the United States of America and further ruin Ukraine, making more Ukrainians dead because of the Kiev regime. You know, I think that Dmitry Peskov must have worked real hard writing this statement because it's absurd. Ukraine has been getting ruined. Yes, more and more Ukrainians are dead. Yes, but because of one simple reason. Because Russia invaded Ukraine. It started killing Ukrainian people, razing Ukrainian cities, towns, and villages, and destroying Ukrainian economy. It wasn't the USA or any other country. It was Russia. Russia is to blame. Russia is the reason. It's really that simple. It's black and white. Okay, you cannot paint it into any different color. The decision was made, Putin voiced it. Russian missiles started flying to Ukraine, killing everyone on February 24th, 2022. We have not forgotten. So Peskov, like other Russian propagandists, is saying completely the opposite. He's saying that's, it's the United States' fault. Anyway, Maria Zakharova, another, top propaganda person, the spokesperson of Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, said that the USA providing a new package of military assistance to Kyiv is a direct sponsorship of terrorist activities. Again, that's quite a statement. The terrorist activities, Ukrainians are defending their land, their families, their people. That's considered terrorist activities. Okay. That's not all she said. As for providing assistance to Israel and Taiwan, it'll worsen the global crisis. Zakharova pointed out that assistance to Taiwan is interference in China's internal affairs, and the assistance to Israel is a direct way to escalate the aggravation in the Middle East region. Boy, let me tell you, do they drink while they work or what? It's unbelievable. I wonder how Zakharova calls what Russia is doing in Ukraine. Well, it's a rhetoric question. We'll know the answer to that. And Dmitry Medvedev, our lovely Dmitry Medvedev. We can't go anywhere without Dmitry Medvedev. The former president of Russia, and actually, believe it or not, the former decent guy. At least when he was the president, I liked him. I sympathized to Dmitry Medvedev. The former decent guy who turned into, I don't even know what he's turned into, but into something ugly. He posted in his Telegram account saying that the approval of the US aid for Ukraine was expected and grounded in Russophobia. I quote, "We will, of course, be victorious, regardless of the blood-soaked 61 billion, which will mostly be swallowed up by their insatiable military-industrial complex." End quote. Medvedev, if you are so sure that you will be victorious, regardless of the 61 billion, why do you even bother opening your mouth? A little off topic on Russian propaganda. In order to understand what's really going on in Russia, you should listen to propaganda. Anyone should listen to propaganda. You should be in the know of what their current narrative is. Knowing that, you can compare to other news that are truthful and make analysis of what propaganda wants to achieve, how they're discussing, in what light they're giving certain events and so forth. So propaganda is important. Not to listen, not to get brainwashed, but to understand what is their narrative. But there's more. You should also pay very close attention to little things, such as intensity of propaganda messaging, of personas delivering messages, and of intonations when messages are delivered, To me, that's even more important than messages and narratives themselves. Because messages are engineered. That's fake. That's BS. That's crap. Messages lie. We all know that. It's right there on the surface and it's funny. But intensity, intonations, etc., you can't fake them. They reveal true meaning, the truth. So that's why it's so important. And I've been looking for the response of Russian propaganda to this 61 billion military aid package. And you know what? The response has been flaccid, sluggish, formal, with no energy, without fire in the eyes of those who were delivering. This shows us that the aid was truly expected. So Dmitry Peskov didn't lie when he said it was expected. And those top propaganda people, they understand that is bad news for the Russian military, and it's inevitable. Okay, they had known for quite some time. So their response was formal. And again, for Russia, it's very, very bad. They know the truth. They know what's coming. They know what effect of this aid will be on the war. They know the petty state of Russian armed forces. They simply know what's coming. They know that this military aid will have a direct and immediate impact. Russians will face more difficulties at the front lines. Ukrainians, they tried counteroffensive last summer and last fall. It started last June, and the counteroffensive pushed Russians back, but stopped for many reasons. And the Russians regrouped, and they started pushing back. Very slowly, despite their huge advantage in number of soldiers. And now the aid means Russian offensive will stop. Nothing is guaranteed. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen. This is life. But it appears that Russians will not get deeper into the Ukrainian territory. They will not seize more lands. Perhaps they will even be pushed back. What the impact on this war, this aid, will have? There are two kinds of impacts I would like to talk about. The immediate impact and the long-term impact. The immediate impact is that this aid will change everything. Ukrainians will simply have more stuff to fire with, more shells to fire, and more air defense systems. So more Russian missiles will be intercepted. That's good news for Ukraine, very bad news for Russia. Don't forget, and everyone seems to be forgetting, that very soon American planes, F-16s, will be coming to Ukrainian skies. Okay, that might be a game changer. I'm not a military expert, but from what I understand, that might be might make a huge impact on what's going on there. The immediate impact is most likely the war will turn into what World War I was. I remind you, there was a very long front line, and neither side was moving. They were just staying there, killing each other. And unfortunately, that's what this aid will probably do. It will stop Russians from moving. It will make their efforts to take more land successful. And then, if we're talking about long-term effects, Ukraine will win time. And that's what does time mean for Russia now? Winning time, is it good or bad? Now, when Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022 and failed to achieve blitzkrieg, do everything fast, the time started working against Russia. Because Russian military industry was in chaos, Russian army was in chaos, and Ukrainians, used the situation. They pushed back a great deal. They took Kharkov region. They took back a city of Kherson, and they fought back. But then tides turned, and the time started working for Russia as Russia started developing and growing its military-industrial complex. But now the tide has turned one more time, because, in my opinion, time now means that Russian troubles in the economy will be worsening. There's a huge problem in Russia right now. It's probably even worse and more dangerous than lack of money and falling economy and the budget deficit and different crises in different industries and so forth. This problem that's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow in the live stream. I'm going to dedicate an entire live stream to that, and that is lack of people. I've been talking about it for quite some time, but it's happening now. We are seeing the ugly face of lack of people. So many have left Russia, so many have been killed, mobilized and killed, and not too many people to actually produce things, especially in the military-industrial complex. So the longer this war drags, the fewer people will be in Russia, not in the front lines, because I think in the front lines, Russian government is evil and tough enough to actually manhunt Russian men and bring them to the front lines. But they can do that to people, deep inside. Those who manufacture victory, so to speak. There will be fewer and fewer of those. The new mobilization in the summertime will come. The new wave, because that's the same mobilization, but just a new wave. And that might anger many more Russians. Overall, both short-term and long-term impacts on Russia as a country that is waging the war and on Russian military forces is, I can say that it can range from pretty darn bad to disastrous. This military aid will give time to not just Ukraine, but to Ukrainian allies, the United States of America and Europe for the most part, to come up with more aid, more ammo, more armor, more planes, and possibly a solution how to defeat Russia. So now I think it's easy to say, it's right to say that time is playing in the favor of Ukraine. And $61 billion will buy plenty of time for the Ukrainians. So player one, that is Russia, get ready for the bad news very soon. Starting May 2nd. Thank you so much. That has been my message for today. Please tune in tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about probably the worst crisis that Russia is going through right now. Was absolutely expected. Lack of people. Not just demographical problems, but lack of people. People have disappeared, and for different reasons and to different places, but that's what I'm going to be talking about. And then that probably is something that can affect the country and affect the war a great deal. So please tune in tomorrow, the regular time. Thank you so much. I would like to remind you that I identify 9 news that I find important, that matter every single day. and I make them available to patrons and sponsors of Inside Russia channel. So if you want to stay in the know to see and to know what's currently happening in Russia, please sign up and become a sponsor, and you will have access to pretty much all you need to know. Thank you so much. I'm going to put the links down below, and now I invite everyone to carry on to the live stream chat where we will converse and I will try to answer as many questions as I can. Thank you. This is my most favorite time of any stream, when I turn on the live stream chat and it explodes with, messages with people. And it's not just me sitting and talking to a camera. It's a huge community of 4,300 people watching right now. Thank you. Thank you. If you're here for the first time, this is Inside Russia community, and the architects of this community are the moderation team: Lorna, Mami K, Bob S, Harry Potnan, Amir Fazat, and Dirk. Thank you, friends. Thank you for always coming here and watching my back and help making this community better. And thank you, the usual suspects, for coming. If you want me to notice your message easier, your question easier and faster, please put it in all caps and put Inside Russia after that sign, so I see it highlighted in orange. It's much easier for me to see. Thank you. Just like Harry Potnan did. Thank you, Harry. I hope everything is well and you're having a good time. Good Sunday. Leitmotif for me, howdy. I'm going to be reading all caps and highlighted now. Bob S, howdy. Kami Santi, long time no see. Howdy, howdy. Sam K, the legend, hello. Pamela J, Leroy Cousins, live. Leitmotif. Ogie One from Seattle, long time no see. Good to see you. Teddy Mac, welcome. Looks like you are a new member of Inside Russia community. Yuri Chen, Koshkin Dom, thank you so much. Received your email. I'm gonna keep you in prayer. Have been keeping you in prayer. Tammy Stovall, howdy, howdy. Crusader Damien, the best questions and statements come from Crusader Damien. The best food for thought that I've received from anyone on this channel is from this person. Thank you. Terry, howdy, howdy, friend. Martin, Suzanne, Faith Russert, the underdog. Aranka, Sherry, Diane, Wins Aloft. Great Southern Land. Airback 820, and my stream just jumped. There you go. Usual suspect from Kentucky, sending love to Kentucky from Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Paula W, it's going to be hard not to mention US politics. Please don't. It's just, this channel is not about the USA politics, the US politics, not about the parties, and it seems like every time someone starts talking about the US politics, people start fighting. It's definitely, we don't need this. This is not Inside America. This is Inside Russia. Okay, it's done. Everyone should be thankful to the US congressmen, senators, whoever, politicians, because it's done. Baker Stock, howdy. Liz Mailer, good to see you. Dennis, thank you. Harry, thank you so much. Perfect delivery today, Kay. Thank you, Terry. You always have good words for me every single time. You never fail. I appreciate that. Please know. Me and Natasha always talk about that. She wakes up first thing in the morning. She does. I fall asleep late and I wake up late. I wake up between 9 and 10. Natasha is up at 6. She does yoga and, she does early breakfast, and then she goes over and watches over the comments, and then she sees your comments are like always among the top ones, the early ones, the first ones. So thank you. Gelt, 95, howdy. Brother Randall, thank you so much. Yes, we all have. Wally from All an Unusual Suspect. Hi all from an Unusual Suspect. Well, welcome. Welcome to the Usual Suspect gang or bunch or whatever, team, whatever you want to call it. Because once you, show up here, you turn from unusual suspect to usual suspect. Don Arnold, I believe this is the last chance for Ukraine. They must get it done this summer. Get done what exactly? I don't think it's the last chance for Ukraine. This is the last chance. No. This is a chance for Ukraine to stand strong and not to let Russians push further into Ukrainian territory. That's definitely a chance. But you think that Ukrainians are going to push Russians all the way into Russia? I highly doubt that'll happen. Not with this kind of package, not with this kind of stuff. But we'll see. I mean, I hope and pray that it's over as soon as possible, okay? Can't stand when YouTube live stream chat jumps up and down. I don't know how to stop it. Airborne Snail, howdy. Jodes Rames, Steffi, howdy. Dave. Sam, the Legend K, thank you. I thought Putin was spying on the gents' public toilets from the pipes. Sam the Jokester, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for being one of the pillars of Inside Russia. David Porter. David, good to see you. I hope as well. I hope everyone is safe. Sending my love to Chernovtsi, to all Ukrainians there, to your family. You know, it still makes me ashamed. I said that I've become comfortably numb. I don't feel acute pain anymore, but it's turned into a deep shame when I hear about rockets flying and, bombings and all of that. It's just, still pretty darn bad, KG1, thank you. Will China's economy be slowed down by prolonging the war, and their reaction is a key factor in Putin continuing it? Putin will... You are mixing two things here, I think, in my opinion. You're mixing, reacting of outside forces such as China, and there are other forces too, on reacting and their reaction, and Putin watching their reaction, and Putin continuing the war in Ukraine. Putin will continue war for as long as possible, for as long as some kind of result he achieves that he can throw to Russian people saying, look, this is what we did, now we stop. I believe he wants to stop as soon as possible, as bad as possible, because every single day that goes by makes his country weaker, his power weaker, his gang, his friends weaker, okay? Every single day. I bet he just wishes he would never start that war, okay? It's brought him so many problems. He burned bridges. He cannot stop by not making a deal that will satisfy Russians. And I'm talking about the people, and I'm talking about the groups inside Russia, okay? He's in Zugzwang, and the time goes by, and this position becomes worse and worse. So China's disapproval reaction will not make Putin stop the war, okay? He's gonna go all the way. I've said many times that the changes will come, my opinion that the changes will not come from the front lines. They will come from inside Russia, from the power groups, from the leading the strong men who are around Putin. Once they decide they've had enough of him, that's going to be over. And Russia will enter even a more turbulent period. Ogi1, subscribe on Patreon. Usually don't get to catch you live. Thank you so much. I hope you will not be disappointed. Not religious, but always sending good vibes to you and yours. Thank you for your work. Ogi1, thank you so much for your message. You know, monetary support is very important. I don't work besides YouTube. Nothing, brings me income. And this is how I support my family. And this is how I do things that I do that I don't advertise here on YouTube. But when I hear words like that, that really makes my day. That really is invaluable. That's priceless. So thank you so very much. And I hope that Patreon will not disappoint you. 3 news, 3 times a day. In the morning, in the afternoon, at evening. Delivered to your Patreon, not mailbox, but... Well, I guess many people leave a check mark and then they receive messages onto their emails as soon as a creator posts something. So, thank you. Brian Handel, thank you so much from Canada. Sending love from Canada. How are the Ukrainians responding inside Russia? If you were, well, I can tell you how Ukrainians are responding in Ukraine from reading and having my eyes open. And I can tell you how Ukrainians are responding here in Tashkent. Not so many of them, but there are some, the members of a Tashkent Breakfast Club. Everyone is Jewish. Everyone has good mood. Everyone is, all of a sudden, there's hope, okay, that Ukraine will not fall. This is how they are responding, and I think there's a very good reason for that. Let me tell you something. It's sunny in Tashkent, if you know what I mean. Thank you for your support, and please come back, keep on coming back, and please be a part of Inside Russia. Thanks a lot. Crusader Damien, 60 billion from the USA, 50 billion from the EU, F-16s from NATO, 90 planes in total, 300 billion seized assets. Putin must be in need of a new diaper soon. You know what? I keep on telling that you are giving me the best food for thought, and you are the best bearer of the best questions, so to speak. And you're absolutely right. It's really hard to disagree with you. I mean, what the uniqueness of this situation is, there's one big, huge problem. It's not even a problem, it's a tragedy. That in 6 months, that the help, the assistance was not coming. There's so many people died. And they die on both sides. They die in Ukraine and they die in Russia. If that situation was stopped, people would stop dying in both countries. They keep on dying. And you can fix the economy. You can, rebuild cities and everything, roads, but you cannot bring that people back to life. But look how this situation starts working out. 60 billion from the US, and that's not money. Money is just 8 billion. 60 billion is, the 53 billion is the military supplies. Then 50 billion from the EU will come later, also in the form of military and some money. F-16s are very soon. And then $300 billion of seized assets are up in the air, but something tells me they're going to make it last for a very long time. Yeah. Yes, Putin is in need of a new diaper. I agree with that. And Russian propaganda kind of shows that. I told you it's hugely important to watch them how. Not what they say, but how they say that. And their response was, even Medvedev's response was kind of lame, not the usual fire in the eyes. Yes, a satanic evil West. No, this time is different. They understand exactly what you wrote here. Damien. Thank you so much. We have a new sponsor, Arto Sappala. Welcome to Inside Russia. Great to see you. Teacup is getting smaller. Life changes. No, not life changes. Weight changes. I'm starting getting better care for my of my health. I'm drinking water. It's not tea. I just imagine this is a wonderful English tea here. Tomorrow I'll start fasting for a few days, and then I want to change my diet completely. We'll see how it goes. No, I will not be talking about that on YouTube. Perhaps just on Saturdays for sponsors and patrons, but that's a different story. You know quite well because you're a very active member of Friday streams. Oh, I'm sorry, Saturday private streams. Yeah, for everyone, I do private streams every Saturday. Is my way of thanking sponsors and patrons for support. And we just like laid back streams. We talk about different things, personal things. It's great time, basically. Jonas Clintony, Northern Germany, guten Abend. NDC, howdy. Robert Harrington, what do you think the Russian troops think about the new funding from the USA? Are they exhausted and nervous? Robert, Russian troops have been in the trenches, literally in the trenches. No heat, no good food, no much support from their superiors for the past 18 months. What do you think their morale is? I think they're not doing well. Not doing well physically, mentally, and I think at this point they don't care. Well, no one is telling them that the Ukrainians are getting new supplies because that's not going to do any good for the morale, and that's not going to get any better. And then, I think they're just fighting for survival. I'll tell you a story. This happened to me yesterday morning. Now, folks, if you're new here, I do some things besides YouTube. At one point, I decided that I was inactive in terms of politics. I didn't do much. I was just caring about myself. And that's one of the reasons why Russia invaded Ukraine. Because me and 140 other million Russians didn't do anything, didn't care about politics. Politics started caring about them, and we're seeing what the results of us not caring about politics happen. We've seen it now. So I'm doing a few things that I find that I need to do as an activist. Okay, I'm not inactive anymore. And one of the things I do, among other things, is I have created a community of Russian people. It originally was just the Russians, for Russians support group, but then I started bringing Ukrainians into the group and the locals, Uzbeks, Americans, the Europeans. Now this group called Tashkent Breakfast Club consists of 1,000 plus people, and we discuss different things. And I try to organize Russians all over the world in other places as well, such as Turkey, Thailand, the United Arab Emirates, and so forth. So we have daily meetings, well, breakfasts really. We meet at breakfasts. And an interesting story happened to me. Was told by one of Breakfast Club members. He gave me his telephone. He said, read, what my wife has to say. And his wife was, on Saturday, she was attending a funeral. Her girlfriend, a girl that she has known for a long time, her boyfriend was mobilized in September of 2022. And, my friend, the member of Breakfast Club, knew that guy, and they were in communication. And the guy said, look, let's run away. Let's get out of here. There's still chance. And that fella said, look, they're going to pay lots of money. They're going to pay 200,000 rubles every month, $2,000. That's a lot of money. I'm going to get mobilized and, I'm going to go and serve. So this fella went to the front lines. And my friend obviously made a different choice, and he ran to Tashkent. He's been in Tashkent ever since. He's one of the pillars of, how do I say that? Our community, not our group, Tashkent Breakfast Club. If you watched my movie that I'm documenting how we live after Russia, and I made a documentary. I'm going to put a link right here. He's there. You will see his face. I don't want to, say his name, but he's there. So that fella who with him made a different choice, and they went different ways. One went to Ukraine, another one went to Uzbekistan. And this fella sitting right next to me, having wonderful breakfast, drinking good tea, having fried eggs, and we were discussing things. Among other things, he was discussing his future, how he wants to have kids, how he wants to move to the USA, to Philadelphia, where he has relatives. He has a very good profession. He makes lots of money. He's a freelancer. And he adds value to wherever he works. So one guy was sitting in sunny Tashkent and discussing the future of him and his wife, of his family. They want to have kids and they want to live in Philadelphia. Another guy, he's laying in a coffin 6 feet under, okay? So the wife of my friend said that there were some people came from the front lines to bury him. And she said that the morale, she couldn't believe how they simply not human anymore. They're like, they lost their humanity. They fear. They expect death coming at any time. They don't have any hopes for good future. And that's basically answering you how Russian troops are doing right now. Not good. And they're not gonna take the U.S. Military aid good. That's gonna be not good. I see that George Rames made a gift of sponsorship to 5 people. Thank you so much, friend. George Rames has been with the channel, with this community for, 20-something months, over 2 years now. So thank you, friend. Oh, by the way, Patreon recently introduced a new feature. It's like a forum board. It's like live chat type of thing. So I post things that happen to me. I usually post pictures from the Breakfast Club. I usually, if we go and do something with the family, I post. So if you follow me a little personally here in Tashkent, become a patron and you will find the information there. So Amir has sponsored 20 people. Amir, thank you so much. From me, from 20 people, from Natasha. Thank you. 20 more people will have access to daily news. Thank you, Amir. I see that there's a super chat from Nescafe Shorts. Thank you so much, friend. No message, but your message is heard, and I much appreciate it here. Stuff to consider. Thank you from Canada. Kazakhstan is starting to resist Russian influence. Yes, Russian politicians, very prominent, very top politicians, have been making statements, oh my gosh, not good, saying that the decision is already done on taking Kazakhstan, And the Kazakh people don't like that. The resistance to Russia influence will be growing. Okay, and I don't know who can blame them. Ron Klotzer, thank you so much. Thank you for showing up and for supporting. I appreciate it very much. Again, Arto, thanks for becoming a sponsor. Cesare Dmovsky, thank you so much. Sponsor for 13 months. Thank you. Where are you from? Polish? Brianna, good to see you. Whoa, happy. Sponsor for 25 months. Brianna was there when Inside Russia was not about politics, was not about, there was no war, okay? Inside Russia was born as I wanted everyone to show Russia the way I saw it, the way I loved it, the way I appreciated it. And Brianna was there, I think, from the day one. So fantastic to see you. Thank you for coming back. Again, Brian, thank you. Ogie1, KG1, Liz Dumbrell. Howdy, Liz, from Alaska. Fantastic to see you. Back to the messages. I think I have found a solution for the chatbot. There will be a chatbot tomorrow. Take my word on that. Marco, can't just take this dwarf out of the Kremlin. You're asking the wrong person. If it was up to me, you know. Andreas, which dam in Russia is next to break? There are more floodings right now, and there will be more as even... just keep on tuning in. I will keep you updated on which dams are breaking. Oh, people, please, do not talk about politics, U.S. politics. Do not, just keep this place decent and pleasant for everyone. Enhanced is pronounced just like dense. Enhance. It's tough. One of the words that just breaks my tongue. Enhance. I'd rather sing Birdie Song 3 times than say that. Enhance. Make it better, okay? Enhance. Oh, that's easy. Enhance. There you go. Michael Martineau. Birthday boy. Michael. Everyone, I am warning you, I'm going to sing a birthday song, so please cover up your ears. Because it's not going to be pretty. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michael. Happy birthday to you. Please have many great returns of this day. Have great celebration. Have lots of, very good health, so you don't have to ever worry about that. Be surrounded by people that you love, who you love, and who love you. Have many reasons for smiles, and smile all the time. Happy birthday. Thank you for being a part of Inside Russia. Yeah, and have many coins in your pocket, because it always helps. Drakor, other Americans retired in Uzbekistan. No, I haven't seen retired in Uzbekistan. I've seen Americans. There was one American at the Breakfast Club this morning. Daniel from Brooklyn, New York. No, I haven't seen any, but there are quite a few Americans on business working. Running sloth, and incidentally, Jupiter is conjunct Uranus right now. That's big world changing energy. Send me some. I need some a lot, very much. Bad. Ooh, much better. Tom W, thank you so much. Yeah, now I know. GTG means gotta go. Good. Hey, Black Cat. Thank you so much. Thanks for loving the singing. Well, I want to make people who have birthdays on the day when they're in the streams, I want to make them feel special. I'm not probably the worst singer in the world. I was going to say not the best, but it's probably the worst. And, so this is a little, like, not joke, but it's a little something to smile about, So trust me, it's pretty embarrassing to sing. Thank you, Black Cat. Gone Bananas. Panda 4 is awesome. What's Panda 4? Enhance. There you go. I got it. I tackled it. Thank you. Thought that counts, my friend. Thank you, Black Cat. Thank you. Black Cat was a member of moderation team for a very long time. Did a great job. Thank you so much. Bob S, I promise there will be links and the whole 9 yards. Nightbot is going to be back tomorrow. I figured everything out. Thank you. Thank you for posting this, and, it's going to be easier starting tomorrow. What's the story behind your scar on your face? I don't have any scars on my face. Where'd you... Sorry, perhaps it's your screen or something, but there's no scars. I don't have any scars. Lorna, if you were answering about the program stopped working about Nightbot, Nightbot still works, but it's just somehow it deleted my account and it's not taking me back. That's what the problem. If quadruplets are watching, do you sing happy birthday 4 times? I sure do. Have not had that happen yet, but you bring quadruplets on the stream who will have birthday at that time, and then I will sing 4 times. KG1, yeah. Eligible for Eurovision, singing in gibberish. Yeah. Time for tea. Lida Duplessis, thank you so much for coming. We have Andrew from South Africa. He's the usual suspect, comes here often. I don't think he's here today. Czechia in the house. Tort, howdy, how are you? Terry Carter, no, I don't want any scars. Oh, thank you, but no thank you. Sonny, BG, I pray for you. Thank you so much. How's the weather there? Are there many tourists? No, these live streams are too short, I'm telling you. I have so many stories to tell you. You really did my birthday, New Year's evening. Hi, Petra. Look, another story for you. And it was in the news, by the way, last week. Either on Saturday or on Sunday. Saturday, right? So, all of a sudden, Uzbekistan is having fantastic weather. Okay, this is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. What is it, 26, 27, perhaps even more Celsius. It's hot. Too hot for my wife. She's very picky about the weather, but I'm loving it. The hotter it gets, the better for me. I love 120 as long as it's dry, it's not humid. Weather is beautiful, and this is the tourist season. That's last year there were so many tourists coming from Russia because Uzbekistan is much cheaper than traveling to, let's say, Thailand or Dubai, and Uzbekistan accepts Russians. You don't need a visa, and then the Russians cannot go to countries like Europe, European countries, the EU countries, and Italy, France, Greece, Turkey's too expensive for many. So Russian tourists are switching to Russia. That's called domestic tourism. I guess everything's going well for them, They used to go to Thailand, they used to fly to Italy, have vacations. Now go to Lake Baikal, go to Yakutia, to go to North Pole, And some come to Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is a fantastic place with much to see. And I remember this week we went to have pilaf. There's a special place where the tourists come, the best pilaf really. It's called the Middle Central Asian Center of Pilaf. At the same time, last April, we went there. I remember I went there with a friend. There were groups and groups, organized groups of tourists all over the place. Tourists actually bothered us because, they do take pictures of us all the time. And we're just sitting there, discussing things. We went last week, no tourists, just locals. Back to normal. I talked to local, waiter there, the person who's working, like a host type of thing. I asked him, he said, not as many tourists as last year. Why? Because, again, it was in the last week's news that I do updates for patrons and sponsors. It turns out that the Russian government is lowering the Iron Curtain. It has forbidden for many bureaucrats, those who work for the government, to leave Russia without permission. The USSR, old good USSR is back. This is what they wanted. They got it. One of the most terrible things about the USSR, you couldn't leave it. You did not have a permission, okay? They took your right and did this. And then they've done the same very thing. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it on Friday News, but this is huge. So, not too many tourists here. Not too many Russians. And they're complaining in Russia now. Those who get paid by the government work for regional, provincial governments, work in Moscow. Oh, we can't even go to Uzbekistan now. We have to... And KGB, of course, is the one to ask. And there's a special commission formed inside the KGB who decides who to grant permission to travel outside Russia for vacation, whatever, Same thing we had in the USSR. You want it? You got it. Have fun with it, dear Russian fellas. Hope I answered your question. James Gum, think this rule of no Russian government employees having will extend to all citizens? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. After they announced another wave of mobilization, well, they're not going to announce it, they're just going to start mobilizing everyone. And people, will smell the smoke and it will start leaving. And then at the border, they'll be turned away saying, oh, you can't do that. Right now, they have so many excuses to turn you down. Oh, boy. They simply look at your passport and say, well, it has a little scratch here. We feel like your passport's been compromised. And then they seize it and they send it to special review. Review can take up to a few weeks. There you go. There are 10 reasons. I did a stream a long time ago on this. There's a law that gives 10 reasons, new reasons for border patrol officers to seize your passport and not let you out. So, oh yes, it will be extended to all citizens. It was done before. We had it in the USSR. What makes you think they're not going to do it again? They're bringing back the USSR. They're not bringing it back. They're bringing people back there. Of course they will. Of course they will. Hang on 1 second. Albert, do you have an opinion on Mikhail Khodorkovsky's channel? I don't have an opinion on his channel. There's plenty of stuff there. What's going on with birthdays? Wait a second. Harry's birthdays, we did. I'm a little confused with fellas. This Vakanalia with the birthdays. Can anyone give me heads up? 2 minutes to midnight. Thank you so much. All the way from New Zealand. So wait a second. Lorna, mommy, can you... I dream to visit Tashkent. Be safe and happy. Thank you so much. You're welcome to join us for breakfast at any day at Tashkent Breakfast Club. If you come to Tashkent, I'll give you the location. Ah, 27 month. I was going to say, it's not your birthday today. Well, Harry, thank you. Harry was there along with Dirk. I'm sorry, I'm so used to the pronouncing the name wrong. I apologize. So, Harry was there at every live stream, at every video, pretty much from the day one of the channel. So, thank you so much. 27 month. But your support is not just of being a sponsor of the channel. It's you're Harry Potter. What can I say? You're 1:21. I'm seeing time. Well, I'm not seeing, but I feel that someone's gonna be now signaling me. Birthday being a channel member. Thank you so much. Hey. Marrow Cat, I don't know. So there are quite a few questions. Ah, merci. That's your French. Excellent. Viva France. Bob S. Yes, checking. Prophecy, let me clear up the moderation policies. I trust my mods unconditionally for the channel. They've been with me. We're all been together for over 2 years. In case of Lorna and Mommy, I think over 3 years, because they started moderating even before we had moderation team. And we have certain policies about this channel. They're keeping it clean, decent, pleasant for everyone, and they have done a great job, built a great community. And I put my complete trust in every single mod. If they feel like they need to remove a message, then be it, and I support them with that. We do not discuss certain things as they lead to lots of fighting. I'm not an expert on anything military. I'm not an expert on U.S. politics, things like that, and I don't like to discuss these things here. So please just comply with the rules. That's all. Russian tourist industry must be in a sorry shape. KG1, that's not about tourist industry. I will be keeping an eye on the tourist industry. I think that it might be okay because Russians switched from traveling abroad to traveling inside. They can't afford traveling abroad anymore. And the only countries they can is Vietnam, Thailand, China, Hainan Islands, North Korea. Believe it or not, they're opening North Korea for Russian vacations. What else? Obviously, Central Asian countries, former USSR, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and that's pretty much it. The Southeast Asia, Russians can travel to. India, Maldives, but that's too expensive now. Russians are not doing well financially. Everything is not going according to the plan. And then you see in Uzbekistan, fewer and fewer Russian tourists. You should have seen it in 2022, 2023, tons. Not anymore. So there will be simply fewer and fewer Russian tourists. The Russian tourists will turn into survivalists. Pinda the Peanut, thank you so much for your. I don't even know how to describe you. You're not even a pillar. You're like. Give me the word. You're like always there, all the time. You're a big pillar. Just let me do a couple more questions and that's it. How do you think Russia will respond to the sale of its overseas assets and funds towards the Ukraine? Well, Great Southern Land, this is how I think they will respond. They will like this. We will show you. How could you do? They can't do that. Oh, evil West. Oh, you'd better watch out now. Oh, we'll show you. And that's all they do. What can they do? Nothing. VJ John, that explains why you wouldn't want to stay in Canada. What exactly explains? William Handy Jr. from Israel. Inside Russia. John Galt is in Tashkent. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much. All I can say is I stand with Israel. Thank you. Now, before finishing the stream, let me go over super chats and messages from sponsors. Craig Savarese, thank you so much for coming. Warmest regards to you and your family. Thank you, Craig. Fantastic to see you. William Handy, thank you again. Sunny BJ, merci beaucoup. Pinda the Peanut, Harry Potman, Dave Strains, Mac, thank you so much. Always pleasure being here, Constantine. Thank you so much. Pleasure mine. Sam the Legend K, 2 minutes to midnight. Blackhead, again Blackhead. Ron Klotzer, Nescafe Shorts, Amir, Jodes Rames, Stuff to Consider, Arto Seppala, Cesare Dmovsky, Crusader Damien, Brianna B. It's fantastic to see you again. Ogie1, Brian, KG1, Liz Dumbrell, Sam K, and now Blackhead once more. The best part of the day is coming soon. Thank you so much, friend. And the best day part of the stream for me as well. We finish every single stream by praying, and I invite everyone to come along and pray with me. Join along. If you're religious, please do. If you're not religious, please do anyway. Because to me, love, God is love, and we all have love in our hearts. Therefore, we all have God in our hearts. And I have a feeling that he doesn't really care if we believe in him or not. The main thing is that he believes in us, and that's what matters. So if you're not religious, please come along and just pray, send good wishes to people, good vibes, good energy, good thoughts along with us. And call this process whatever you like. Thank you. Thank you so much. And let's do it. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day and this week. Thank you for everything you've given us. Thank you for the food that you've placed on our tables. Thank you for roofs that you've given over our heads. Thank you for the loved ones who are around us, people who surround us, who we love and who love us. Thank you. Please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads peaceful and safe. Give us wisdom to raise our children so they grow up good adults who will never fight in any wars and love each other. Make this world a better place. For now, please keep our children safe and healthy because they are our world and our life. Dear Lord, please stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out and touch the hearts of those who are responsible and capable. Fill their hearts with love. Remind them that they are still humans. Give them mercy, send them mercy, empathy, remorse, make their hearts softer so they wake up from the lethargic sleep they've been sleeping, and they will make the decision to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. As for Ukrainians, please help everyone who's been affected by this terrible tragedy. Send your angels to watch over them, answer their prayers, and make their wishes come true. Please help my country, Russia. Send your strongest angels with sharpest swords led by Saint Michael. In your shining army, heavenly army, have it come down and get rid of the demons who have hijacked my country, who we know by their names and by their faces. Send them to where they belong, to hell. Have angels help good Russians to run Russia and make it peaceful, loving, and respecting. Please send safe travels to everyone who is traveling. Send safety to everyone who is in danger in high waters right now. Please help single mothers who are struggling raising their children, trying to make ends meet. Help everyone who's helping Ukrainians. Help those Ukrainians who are under attacks from Russia right now. Please send them safety, so the missiles and weapons that are shot, they will not reach the targets, and everyone will be safe. Dear Lord, please help those who are seeking for asylum of any kind, running away from evil. Please send good people their way. Please send all addicted, all hungry, the sick, the jobless, the homeless, the depressed, the betrayed, the ones who are losing their faith, the ones who are not feeling about themselves, the ones that they feel that they're alone in the entire world. Help everyone in need. Fill their hearts with love and show yourself up to them in the form of love, care, warmth, so they feel that something big, something much bigger than them, you are with them, standing right next to them, watching every step they take, that you are loving them, that you're caring about them, that you send your angels to help them, that you do not leave them. Please have every person in need have their prayers answered and feel that God is with them. Dear Lord, thank you so much for allowing us to get together and pray every single day. Thanks for everyone. Thank you for everyone praying right now, or simply watching us pray. Answer everyone's wish and hear everyone's prayer. Thank you so much, dear Lord. I would also like to ask you for a few people who need your help. And they are Koshkin Dom, Gabing with Gary, Remy, Lisa Cumrian, Tom W., Terry Carter, Ron Klotzer, Jason Carney, Susie Mailer, James Marston, Tracy, Jay Spike, Warren Spees, Marie Doran, Brianna B., Jim from Houston, Linda, Frank in Texas, Paula W., Tim Mayers, Larry B., Dominic, Alex from Albuquerque, Mark Rutten, Jeffrey S. and his family, Ann Larson and her daughter Hannah, Mommy Kay and her mother, Wayne, Dave, Don, Kyle E.'s wife, Dory, Electron's family, Kurt from Colorado, Bogey Burger, Morgan L., Lise Dumbro, Darla, White Lightning, George Ruberty, Julia Haney, Yelena, Natasha, Michael, Jake, Dasha, Sky, Oля, Svetlana, Randolph, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church, Grace, Susie, AMS paramedic Liz, Karen, Life, Joe and Lee McMahon, Meta Spencer, Alvin, the Highwayman, David Porter, his family, and everyone in Chernovtsi, Ukraine, Stefan from Sweden, Pamela J., and Finola, and Shirley and Debbie. Also would like to ask for a little girl. Her name is Sarah. She needs recovery, complete recovery. Please have her go home healthy and send strength to her parents who are praying for her day and night. Thank you so much, our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. JT, thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Amir, thank you again. Everyone, please come back tomorrow. There will be a stream on a very important thing, one of the most important things that I think that Russia has right now, and that is lack of people. I will tell you what's going on, why and how it is affecting Russia now, and how it will be affecting in the future. And boy, future seems just like my background right there, dark. I also would like to remind you that you're absolutely awesome and you rock. Don't forget that. And before I sign off, I would like to ask you to say along with me as loud as you can the following, and it's the usual. Carthago delenda est.